वृंदावन चंद अनाथ नाथ दीन बंधु राधे गोविंद अनाथ नाथ दीन बंधु राधे गोविंद भक्तवत्सला भागवत प्रिया राधे गोविंद भक्तवत्सला भागवत प्रिया राधे गोविंद राधे गोविंद वृंदावन चंद राधे गोविंद वृंदावन चंद अनाथ नाथ दीन बंधु राधे गोविंद अनाथ नाथ दीन बंधु राधे गोविंद वेणुविलोला विजय गोपाल राधे गोविंद वेणुविलोला विजय गोपाल राधे गोविंद राधे गोविंद वृंदावन चंद राधे गोविंद वृंदावन चंद अनाथ नाथ दीन बंधु राधे गोविंद अनाथ नाथ दीन बंधु राधे गोविंद पंढरीनाथा पांडुरंगा राधे गोविंद पंढरीनाथा पांडुरंगा राधे गोविंद राधे गोविंद वृंदावन चंद राधे गोविंद वृंदावन चंद अनाथ नाथ दीन बंधु राधे गोविंद अनाथ नाथ दीन बंधु राधे गोविंद पुंडरीकाक्षा पुराण पुरुषा राधे गोविंद पुंडरीकाक्षा पुराण पुरुषा राधे गोविंद राधे गोविंद वृंदावन चंद राधे गोविंद वृंदावन चंद अनाथ नाथ दीन बंधु राधे गोविंद अनाथ नाथ दीन बंधु राधे गोविंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा.
Thank you, Mataji. Wonderful Kirtan. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupakatamayam Tati Swapadantikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So today we are learning about Raghunath Das Goswami, very renounced Goswami. All of them were renounced, but he comes from a very rich aristocratic background, only son of a rich zamindar, and he had all the opulence. In spite of that, right from childhood, he was quite detached. So it was very special. So we'll learn about him. Okay. There's one sloka about him. Kripa Gunerya Kugranda Kupad Udratya Bhangya Raghunatha Dasam Nyasya Swarupe Vidade Antarangam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mamom Prapadye. With the rope of his causeless mercy, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu employed a trick to deliver Raghunath Das Goswami from the blind well of contemplable family life. He made Raghunath Das Goswami one of his personal associates, placing him under the charge of Swarup Damodar Goswami. I offer my obeisances unto him. So there are two Raghunathas. So this Raghunath Das Goswami was under the charge of Swarup Damodar Goswami. And here we can see that whoever meets Chaitanya Mahaprabhu once, all the Goswamis, the moment they saw him and came in touch with him, they heard him, just taking his darshan, that was enough for them. That was the biggest mercy. And who can stop them? They had to go and join Vrindavan. And here we say, see, to keep ourselves from sense gratification, from sense objects, We say, take this away, take that away, and hide this, hide that. But in case of Raghunath Das Goswami, he had everything available. It was the opulence is compared to Indra's opulence, actually. So imagine he had so many servants. Wherever he went, it seems some 6 to 8 servants would go with him with gold coins in the bag. What if this royal prince wants to shop on the way? You know, the money was always available for him. He was not like that. He was completely detached, and he would eat only to maintain his body. Right from his childhood, he was a little bit austere. So we know that these are not ordinary people we are talking about. They are from Goloka Vrindavan itself. They are all Manjaris. So he was like that. And we'll see in one of the pastimes where Nityananda Prabhu says, uh, you have to distribute dahi, dadi, chida, avalaki, we call it poha with yogurt and bananas and condensed milk. He asked him to distribute. That time, money is available because his servants are there, and he uses his father's money for that, and then he buys as much as he can afford. We'll discuss that also. So, so what happens is in very young age he was like this, no interest in material life at all. We read about him in Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela. Lot of details about Raghunath Das Goswami is given, and his parents, they want to stop him very badly. It comes to a stage where they just want to do whatever it takes. His mother will tell him also, why don't we tie him up? Because he ran away so many times. He wanted to go to Vrindavan, he wanted to go to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So many times he ran away and they brought him back. So she says, can we tie him up? So his father will say, opulence could not tie him. He had a wife also. They had gotten him married to a very nice, beautiful wife, girl. And wife is there, money is there. What is lacking? But he wants to renounce anyway. So if this is not stopping him, what else can stop him? So it is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pull, he had to go. So what happens is once a person sees, gets a higher taste. He was already detached, but once he gets so much attached to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he wants to join him, whenever that happens, if a person is very focused in his dedication, what happens is his service attitude will grow. He wants to serve at any cost. He becomes empowered also because devotional service. When a person does more and more devotional service, Krishna will give him strength. He will the service becomes so effective that Krishna will provide everything, the intelligence, the strength, and everything. And the next stage, that person wants to share whatever he has with others. That's the mercy. Then what happens? Sharing in the sense he wants others also to come to Krishna consciousness. So he'll do whatever it takes to help the other conditioned souls. Then the more he does that, the Lord will reciprocate more and more. And how does his mercy flow? More service. The reward is more service. So the Lord start appreciating, he will give him more service, and this person becomes more and more attached to Krishna. So it is like that. What we are doing here, we are recommended to chant, do devotional service with love. When we go back to Godhead, we continue the same thing. So it's like that. So when this beautiful conversation happens between Prabhupada and Allen Ginsberg, he'll be telling this person about Kali Yuga. He says in Kali Yuga, right now you see how so much trauma is happening everywhere, but it gets worse and worse and worse. People will start eating each other. He'll be discussing all this. When he says this, Allen Ginsberg will say, he's hearing with attention. He says, see, it will be so bad that you will be eating me, I'll be eating you, and all people will be hurting each other and all that. So he will ask, what will happen to your disciples, ISKCON people? The Prabhupada said, they will go back to Godhead. They are not any, no risk for them. So, you are so confident that if you take up this process of Krishna consciousness, you don't have to suffer in Kali Yuga at all. So let's read about Raghunath Das Goswami. Hare Krishna. Who would like to read? Neeraja Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna all. Raghunatha Das was just a little boy engaged in studies. He had the darshan of Haridas Thakur. Haridas was merciful to him, and this mercy was the reason that he later was able to attain the company of the Lord Chaitanya. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Anya Leela 3.169 to 170. Raghunatha Dasa Goswami had been attempting to come to the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for a long time, and finally he left his home and met the Lord. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had gone to Shantipura on his way to Vrindavana, Raghunatha Dasa Goswami had offered to dedicate his life at the Lord's lotus feet. In the meantime, however, a Muslim official became envious of Hiranyadasa, Raghunatha Dasa Goswami's uncle, and induced some big official court minister to have him arrested. Thus, Hiranyadasa left his home, but by the intelligence of Raghunatha Dasa, the misunderstanding was mitigated. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So his father was Govardhan Majumdar. He was a materialistic person, and he has a brother also, Hiranya Majumdar. So both of them are taking care of these finance matters where they collect tax. They were getting like per year 20 lakh gold coins or something that they have to give to the government. And what they do usually is they keep some for themselves, so like around 5 lakhs or something. In his case, Govardhan Majumdar's case, what he's doing, he's keeping 3 more lakhs for himself. And there was another person who was doing the same duty. And when he's watching Govardhan Majumdar keeping extra 3 lakhs, so instead of 20 lakhs, he was giving 12 lakhs to the government. So this person comes to know, first of all, he is envious because he was doing that job. Now it's gone to Govardhan Majumdar and his brother. So he's actually envious and he complains to the government saying that this person is taking extra 3 lakhs. And because of that, they come looking for Govardhan Majumdar and Hiranya Majumdar. When the government comes, the cops come, police comes, what they do, they run away. Both of them run away. They are hiding somewhere in Bengal. So now what happens is when they are not there, obviously, they catch Raghunath Das Goswami. They'll catch Raghunath Das and they arrest him and they take him for interrogation. There they ask a lot of questions. They don't hurt him because he belongs to the Kayastha community and the cops don't want to get in any kind of trouble with that community. So they don't hurt him physically, but they interrogate in a very strict way. They ask him everything. But this Raghunath Das Goswami is excellent in his communication skills. Vaishnavas are very intelligent. They know how to talk. We see that in the case of Vasudev also, how he rescued his wife from Kamsa. He spoke very nicely. He just wanted to save her life at that moment. So he says, I will give you the babies. Devaki is not the problem. Problem is the 8th child. So you don't have to kill her. No, I myself will hand over the baby. He'll say something to save her life. So like that, Raghunath Das Goswami is talking to them, talking to the cops. Then he will tell, see, my father and his elder brother. They were like relatives to you. You have been in touch with them. And you're also like, because you are all like relatives, I am also like your relative, you are like my father and you're questioning me like this harshly. All this matter can be settled if you can just talk to them and make them pay whatever is the due. We can actually settle all this. And the way he speaks, saying that our relationship should be good and we all should work together, and you are like you're just like my father and things like that. He speaks so nicely that the policeman starts there are tears in his eyes. So nicely he'll speak, and then he will say, okay, we can negotiate, and then they'll arrange a meeting with the Govardhan Majumdar and his brother and with the police. They'll arrange a meeting and then the matter gets solved and they're back. Both the uncle and his father, they are back and they continue working. So what does this mean is, see, Raghunath Das Goswami was very capable of handling business matters also. He was if he had continued being his father's, he continued that work or been in that same field, he would have done very well. It is not because he was incapable, he wanted to run away and become a sannyasi. Nothing like that. He was quite capable. Very nicely rescued them and they took care of the business after that. So even Prabhupada knew how to handle things very nicely. So this is one example. And then when he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he had got already the mercy. He had met him in Shantipur. Then Nityananda Prabhu also was there at that time. So Nityananda Prabhu is like Guru Tattva. He understands what's in the mind of a person who is approaching Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He knew very well that Raghunath Das Goswami wants to come and join the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He knows very well. But we can't go to the Lord directly. We have to go through the devotees. We please Vaishnavas, Krishna is happy. Guru becomes happy. If Guru is happy, Krishna is automatically happy. So Nityananda Prabhu knows this, and then knows what's in Raghunath Das Goswami's heart, and then he wishes that he approach him. He says, "You are running away from him, from me. You're running away from me, because you approach Nityananda Prabhu, he will take him to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu." So when he meets Nityananda Prabhu in Panihati, that festival is there, Dahi Chira festival. He will tell him, you are running from me, so I'll give you punishment. So Raghunath Das Goswami is like, what is the punishment? He'll say, you have to feed all the Vaishnavas, devotees, associates, everyone who have assembled here. You have to feed them Dadi and Chida. So Raghunath Goswami is very happy. This punishment is very nice. Then the moment they come to know that there is some assembly going on near the banks and all the people are there, all whoever was selling poha and milk, and they all, become available. So now what he does, he spends his father's money and purchases everything, bananas, poha, curds, everything, and they make nice prasadam out of that, and they all eat sumptuously. See, this is another example saying that that's all. Krishna is not asking for anything more. Poha is something that anybody can afford. Even Sudama could take poha to Krishna, and curds, bananas. That bananas are not that expensive compared to other fruits. Bananas are easily available and they are quite affordable. So Krishna, see, they're not asking anything else. He didn't say build this or give that other this. He said just feed the Vaishnavas. This is also mercy. Then all his servants who were with him with bags of gold coins, they help him to purchase everything, and all the Vaishnavas are fed so happily. What happens whenever we see in our case only, when we go to some ceremony, we eat. The moment we eat, we are so happy. It's natural. People become happy. They automatically bless the person who fed. Right? Oh, the food was so great. I hope that person lives a long life. God bless him. This kind of blessings come out of their mouth. So here he's feeding so many Vaishnavas. They bless him so much. So because of this, what happens? Nityananda Prabhu didn't say offer them chapan bhog. Actually, he's capable of offering that also. But he said to this, and that itself brought him so much affection, love, and the whole atmosphere was filled with love. Everybody enjoyed having that prasadam. So everything will happen when we establish our relationship with Vaishnavas. If Vaishnavas are happy, we serve them, automatically, a lot of auspicious things happen. The Lord's mercy, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy also will come faster, and Krishna also will start. He'll empower us so that we can progress faster. So this is an example. After this, of course, he goes to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he works very hard, be very sincere. So let's read this. Hare Krishna. Who would like to read?
Shall I continue, Mataji?
Okay, Mataji, sure.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Then Raghunatha Dasa went to Panihati, and following the order of Nityananda Prabhu, he observed a festival, Chida Dahi Mahotsava, by distributing chipped rice mixed with yogurt. The day after the festival, Nityananda Prabhu gave Raghunatha Dasa the blessing that he would very soon attain the shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. After this incident, Raghunatha Dasa, with the help of his priest, whose name was Yadunandana Acharya, got out of his house by trickery and thus ran away. Not touching the general path, Raghunatha Dasa Goswami secretly went to Jagannatha Puri. After 12 days, he arrived in Jagannatha Puri at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entrusted Raghunatha Dasa Goswami to Swarupa Damodara Goswami. Therefore, another name for Raghunatha Dasa Goswami is Swarupera Raghu, or the Raghunatha of Swarupa Damodara. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. So in that Panihati festival, everybody is happy, and then Nityananda Prabhu meditates on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he appears, and they're feeding each other. There is so much joy. They're all joking with each other, and all of them are watching this. So it is like bliss. It's like as if they are already in Goloka Vrindavan. They're so happy, and Nityananda Prabhu blesses, saying that soon you will get the shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is an example saying that like what Prabhupada has done for us. In Kali Yuga, it's very difficult to find good association, but he's brought us all together. So he's actually giving us an opportunity to associate with Vaishnavas. That way, what we do when we all are together, what we do is read Prabhupada books, learn Bhagavad Gita, hear about all the great devotees. So this is what we are doing. This is how we spend time. This is not possible with everyone. So Prabhupada has given this opportunity to us. So every incident, it may look simple. Externally, it appears like they just assembled 8 prasad, but actually, that's an example saying that, just by doing this, we'll get more and more mercy. So just by associating, with devotees in ISKCON and all, whether it's any way possible. And those days, transportation was difficult, communicating with each other was difficult. It was all through letters, and the paper was expensive. And today, everything is so easy. So we are so fortunate that way. Just sitting at home, we can read, and everything. They had one copy. Raghunath Das Goswami and all his Goswamis were reading Rupa Goswami's writings. They were learning a lot from Sanatana Goswami and all. There was one copy. Anything they want, they have to share. It was like that. Um, Writing, reading, everything was, a paper was, even we see Prabhupada also. If you wanted to print books, how much you had to travel. You had to go through so much trouble. But he never considers that trouble. But we know it is not easy. So this way, after this, uh, he's very happy. He associates with Rupa Damodara, and he's also called, it's given here, see, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entrusted him to Swarup Damodar Goswami. There is another Goswami whose name is Raghunath. So that's why he's also called Swarupera Raghu, Swarupa's Raghu. And then one more incident is given here. Yadunandana Acharya is his teacher. And when he was under the care of Yadunandana Acharya, Raghunath Das was being watched. He had security, who were watching him all the time. They kept on watching him because they didn't want him to run away. He couldn't go too far also. Very easily they caught him and brought him back. So now he's waiting for an opportunity, because that's the only way he can actually go to Vrindavan. His parents are not allowing him. His wife is there. His family is there. They think he should just stay here, enjoy the opulence, and continue the work. It's not happening. So he's waiting. When can I just rob some time and just trick everyone and run away? So one day he's having a conversation with Yadunandana Acharya, and then it's a nice, friendly conversation. His teacher is telling him, I have one disciple who doesn't take care of the deity properly, is not serving, not so disciplined and not so regular. I wish he was sincere. And he'll be talking like this. Raghunath Das Goswami also starts saying, yeah, I can talk to him. Maybe he'll become sincere. Maybe I can convince him to do his job properly. He'll be talking like that. And slowly you'll see that the security is missing. For some time, maybe they've just gone somewhere. He sees that and he says, I can talk to him. I'll convince him. You don't worry. Let me go. And things like that. He'll say very convincingly, and he'll run away. But this is materially, if you see a person running away from home, from his responsibility, and all that, it sounds very wrong. But on a spiritual platform, anything done for Krishna is not a sin at all, because he was engaging in the Lord's service. So whatever we do for Krishna, it will never be a waste. So this was actually a transcendental thing. So we should not take it as how could he just run, because that's how it is. There are so many examples where the devotees of Krishna have gone beyond everything, like in Krishna book we see gopis, how nothing can stop them. Just like that, these Goswamis are like that. Nothing can stop them from going towards Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay. Can someone read this, please? Hare Krishna.
Can I read, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Das Raghunath was a symbol of austerity. For 5 days, Raghunath Das Goswami took prasadam at the temple, but later he would stand at the Simhadwara gate and eat only whatever he could gather by alms. Later, he lived by taking alms from various chatras or food distributing centers. When Raghunath's father
Chatras.
received news of
Chatra,
this,
Mataji. Dharma Chatra, we say, no? Chatra.
chatras or food distributing centers. When Raghunath's father received news of this, he sent some men and money, but Raghunath Dasa Goswami refused to accept the money, understanding that Raghunath Das Goswami was living by begging from the chatras, still chatras, right? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu presented him with his own Gunjamala and a stone from Govardhana hill. Thereafter, Raghunath Das Goswami used to eat rejected food that he had collected and washed. This renounced life greatly pleased both Swarup Damodara Goswami and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One day, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took by force some of the same food, thus blessing Raghunath Das Goswami for his renunciation. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. He was like this in his father's house also, where there was enough food, enough of everything. There's so much gold, everything was there. Over there also, he was very, very down to earth and very grounded. So this shows that, it's not like even if you are surrounded by all kind of opulence, a person can have self-control. So you can understand his attitude and mentality and everything. So self-control, that's what a person develops in devotion. And as he becomes very serious in devotional service and attachment towards Krishna and all these other Vaishnavas, automatically he'll become detached. So now what has happened? For 5 days, Raghunath Das Goswami took prasadam at the temple. And then what happened? He started standing near the Srimadwar. Singadwar is that main gate, the front one. He was to stand there, and whoever was to walk past him, they would offer something to eat. He was eating that and surviving. Nothing, no asking also. He just stand there and eat whatever is available, just to maintain his body. That's it. Or he used to go to food distributing centers and take food over there. Then one day Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, where is Raghunath these days? And he says, oh, he stands near the Singadwar and, he consumes whatever is offered to him, the prasad. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is happy, but at the same time he says it is, it is like, the comparison is like given for, like a prostitute. After some time, it could be such that some people come again and again to the temple. So this person may start thinking, oh, he will give prasad, he will not give. This person will give something more. This kind of things may occur in a person's mind. So I think that is may not be the proper way of doing things. He'll say something. So then what happens is Raghunath Das Goswami becomes so renounced that he will be eating the discarded food. Like after people eat, there'll be something left over, something which is not consumable, or some leftovers will be there, which usually animals eat. So he'll be eating that. He'll take that, wash, and he'll be eating that. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes to know, and this is very advanced actually. We cannot copy all this. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes to know, he'll go to him and he'll say, what are you eating? Looks so delicious. Give me also something. Oh, you are eating something so precious. And he'll take that and eat it. So that kind of renounced he was. See, today, I want to eat this. I want to eat that. That's what shall I prepare for lunch? So this is a very common in our day-to-day life. We discuss what to make for dinner, what to make for breakfast tomorrow. I feel like eating this, and somebody else is feeling like eating this. This is how conversation goes on because we all have our own taste. But in his case, he was so advanced, which we cannot even, comprehend, that he just wanted to keep his body alive and keep it healthy so that he could serve the Lord. That's it. Nothing more. Just some food so that he can survive. The body has to survive, body and soul together. That's all was his intention. Nothing more. It's not about the taste. He never ate for sense gratification. And then One day, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took by force some of the food and he ate it. And then they say, right, when you are eating, one second, like 3 things happen when you eat. Are you able to see my screen? Sorry, I'll just stop this and share again. Wait. Okay. Fine, isn't it now?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, I'll go to the slideshow. When this Paniyati festival is done. So we did this and here. The Raghunath Das couldn't live after Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We'll read from there. Hare Krishna. Can someone read, please?
Mataji, if no one is reading, I'll read Mataji.
Nobody has raised their hand.
I can
read, Mataji?
Who is Prabhu?
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Sure.
Raghunath Das could not live after Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left this world. So he came to Vrindavan to end his life by jumping off Govardhana hill. Sri Rupa and Sanatana Goswami affectionately received him. They convinced him to live on and enlighten all the Brijvasi Vaishnavas with Sriman Mahaprabhu's Puri pastimes. For 3 hours a day on the banks of Radha Kunda, he spoke about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Shri Raghunath Das Goswami daily bhajans included chanting 64 rounds of japa, 1 lakh holy names, doing Manasi Seva in his spiritual body, worshipping Govardhana Shila, bathing thrice in Radha Kunda, offering 1,000 obeisances to Krishna, offering 2,000 to Vaishnava, embracing them, resting 90 minutes, and then some days not at all. He ate only 1 leaf cup, 100 gram of buttermilk daily. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Leaf cup is, we see that leaf cups in the temple. They give in that. We have to call it donne. Yes. Yes. So that's how much he was consuming. We can see this kind of austerity, this level of austerity and detachment is not possible for common people. And he was offering obeisances mentally. You know, the 1,000 obeisances to Krishna, 10,000 to Vaishnavas, 90 minutes of sleep. That's it. And some days that also, no. And then you see 64 rounds, 1 lakh holy names per day. That kind of austerity. So advanced. Okay. Okay, we can read this. Hare Krishna. Who would like to read?
Kulai Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji. When he read Lalita Madhava play, he was submerged in an ocean of separation. This mood became so strong that it became doubtful that he would be able to survive. When Rupa saw Raghunatha's response to his play, he wrote Danakeli Kaumudi, which is full of humor and amusing banter. He gave this book to Raghunath and took back his copy of Lalita Madhava. When Raghunath read Danakeli Kaumudi, he forgot his feelings of separation. Raghunatha Das Goswami was sitting under a tree absorbed in his bhajana. 2 tigers came to the kund and after drinking some water, sauntered off. Sanatana Goswami was startled to see this, but even more so when he saw Sri Krishna standing at some distance, absorbing everything. He then requested Raghunatha to do his bhajana within a hut. On another occasion, Raghunatha Dasa, who still had not bothered to have a kutir constructed, was sitting in the noonday sun, absorbed in his bhajana. Srimati Radharani happened to pass that way at this time, and she stood behind him and held the end of her sari to shield him from the sun's rays. Then one of the Goswamis came along and saw this. This time, when he was again requested to do his bhajan in a kutir, he immediately agreed to comply. Hare Krishna Mataji. Should we read this also, Mataji? Sri Raghunatha Dasa Goswami wrote 3 books. Stavavalli contains Manaha Shiksha, Vilapa, Kusumanjali, and more. Mukta Charita, Dana Keli Chintamani. Hare Krishna Mataji.
When he read Lalita Madhava, Vidagdha Madhava and Lalita Madhava, there are 2 books. So what happens is in this Lalita Madhava, it is the pastimes are from Vrindavan. So, we also feel sad when gopis think about Krishna when he's not in, his mood in Dwaraka is different from his mood in Vrindavan. So they feel very, very sad when they think about it. That is also a kind of spiritual bliss. We can't call them as depressed people or anything. They were not in any kind of anxiety. That is love in separation. That also is kind of transcendental bliss they were experiencing. But he was feeling so dejected, his mood was so strong that it was looking like, he can't take that separation. It was looking very bad for him. It was like submerged in an ocean of separation. So Rupa Goswami noticed that, and then he took that book away from him and gave him another book. He gave him a book which was full of humor. And it was like amusing because Krishna's pastimes are very amusing and they're very, so much joy to read. So he gave that book to him so that he could actually continue his service in a happy mood. So this is given. And then, how did he chant? See, when he was chanting, it seems he would be so absorbed that he won't know what's going on around him. And Sanatana Goswami has actually noticed that wild animals come and go. And wild animals actually, if they're in a good mood, fine. They may just come and go, drink water and move away. What if they attack? We never know. They are wild. So they actually requested him to go to the kutir and chant, and he would not listen. So those days, Vrindavan was like a forest only. Even today, we want to go somewhere, we plan so much. We make enough arrangements. We want to be as safe as possible. We pack everything and then go. And this is like a forest with no electricity, no internet connection, no nothing at all. So we can imagine the very, very simple life. And this person is sitting like this, absorbed hours together. So for his safety, they recommend, but he is not listening. Then one day they tell him, Radharani herself is coming to protect him. He comes to know, then he will say, okay, let me move from here because they don't want to take any service from Radha and Krishna. So Srimati Radharani happened to pass that way at this time. She stood behind him and held the end of her sari to shield him from the sun rays. So imagine these Goswamis are so elevated that Radha Krishna themselves come and serve them. And we can see, how Krishna is so merciful. It's so merciful. So one day he was suffering from indigestion. And then did we finish all the points? Let's see. Here. Okay. Yes. Can someone read this, please? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, can I read?
Sure, Mataji.
One day, he was suffering from indigestion. The doctors said that the indigestion had been caused by eating rice and milk. Vittalanatha was astonished to hear this diagnosis and said, "This is impossible. This man never eats anything but whey." Raghunath then spoke up, saying that he had indeed eaten milk and rice in the course of his meditation on the pastime of Radha and Krishna. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami had special affection for a certain Brajvasi whose name was Das. Raghunath's daily nourishment consisted of only a leaf ball of whey. One day in the village known as Sakisthali, he made a bigger size ball, put whey for Raghunath, and then brought it to him. Raghunath asked him where where he got it. When he heard the name Sakhistali, he immediately threw down the ball. And the way Sakhistali is the home of Chandravali, Raghunath's primary rival for Krishna's love. Raghunath Das Goswami, he never liked to hear the news about some devotee having a fall down or having spiritual difficulty. In fact, even if it was true, he never liked to hear about it. Krishnadas Kaviraj wrote the Chaitanya Charitamrita from the notes that he had gathered from Raghunath Das Goswami, who had all the information from Swarup Damodar. Srila Raghunath Das serves Sri Radha as Rati Manjari in Sri Vrindavan Dhama. His samadhi is at Radha Kunda and the 64 samadhis area. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So one day he was suffering from indigestion and he was, his tummy was upset. And the doctor said this is because of eating rice and milk. So Vittalanath was there. He was very surprised because he does not eat rice and milk. What he eats is whey, and which is, that comes after the milk is separated and boiled over. So he's very surprised. Then he says, he then says, no, he has eaten. How did he eat? In his meditation. In this mind, it actually happened. So much absorption, so much meditation that it actually manifests on the body. So there are instances like this where something was happening in their mind and the symptoms showed on their body. There is this pastime also, and we read somewhere in Rupa Goswami's case also, his tears fell and there were boils on the other person's hand, isn't it? How can it be such a big impact happen on somebody's body? Just a minute. So there is this nice pastime. Once what happens is there is this Brahmana who is meditating, in his mind. This is called Manasik Seva in the mind. He is actually making kheer to offer to the Lord. So what happens? Sometimes we are not capable of doing things physically. Like this Brahmana was very poor. He wanted to offer something to the Lord. So mentally he was offering. So in his mind, he made nice, beautiful payasam. It is on the stove right now. And he wanted to taste how it is and all know how to find out is it hot or not taste exactly, whether it is hot or cold. He just wanted to touch. So when in his mind, he touched it and his finger got burnt. It was actually on his finger. So when Vishnu is actually looking at all this, sitting in Vaikuntha, he laughs. So Lakshmi is asking, why are you laughing? So what he does is, let me call this person, he'll explain better. So he'll call this Brahmana there and he'll say, can you just explain what just happened? The Brahmana explains, he tells everything. So this is what happened. I was offering something and then my finger got burnt. So, and then he got welcomed into Vaikuntha because of this, and he gets a permanent place in Vaikuntha. He stays over there only. He didn't even do physically. He just not with his hands and not big seva, just in his mind. Because whatever we are capable of, that we can do. So that way, just like that, it was happening in Raghunath's case also. How this person went to Vaikuntha just by offering puja in his mind and offering bhog in his mind. And then once he rejected something that came from Sakhistali, home of Chandravali. Chandravali, her team and Radharani's team, they are like rivals. It is just for pastime's sake. Radharani is the closest to Krishna. We all know that. Just to increase the sweetness of the pastimes, there are some people who don't want him to meet. There are some people who are arranging Radharani's, pastimes. So all this just for fun. But he is like he doesn't want to have anything from that place because it is because of that is the home of Chandravali. And then he never liked to hear the news about some devotee having a fall down or having spiritual difficulty. That's because, that is again gossiping, right? We don't want to do any kind of Vaishnava aparad because that's very, very dangerous. If we start criticizing other Vaishnavas, all the pious credits that we have accumulated will be washed away. So what's the point? All the chanting, all the devotional service, everything we are doing so that we can get closer to Krishna. And all this Vaishnava aparad can actually push us away. We'll fall down, get back into the material pool again. So these Goswamis were like that. They wouldn't waste time talking about who is bad and who is what is happening and why some person may not be a better devotee. All this, they never wasted their time. And Krishnaraj Kaviraj Goswami, from the notes he has gathered from Raghunath Das Goswami, we had all the information on Swarup Damodar. He wrote the Chaitanya Charitamrita from the information he gathered from Raghunath Das Goswami. See, whatever we read in Chaitanya Charitamrita has actually come from Raghunath Das Goswami and all the other Goswamis, because they have personally seen Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and they have actually been part of all those pastimes. So he could actually collect all that information and make it available for everyone. Srila Raghunath Das serves Sri Radha as Rati Manjari, that's his name. His samadhi is at Radha Kund and 64 samadhi areas. His body was not buried actually, it was cremated. So the ashes are in different places. One is in Radha Kund, at Radha Kund, the other one is at the 64 samadhi area. So blasphemy to Vaishnavas is a very serious offense, and these Goswamis knew that very well. Okay, so we finished Raghunath Das Goswami. So that's it about him. Whatever is here, we can understand how austere he is, and only their mercy can take us towards Krishna. Even Narottama Das Thakur also ran away from home. So some of them were very fortunate, like in the case of the previous Goswami we discussed, who was Gopal Bhatta Goswami. His parents happily sent him. But some cases were not like that. They had to actually give up their family life forcefully and go away. This image is very beautiful, where Radharani is personally, shielding him from sun, hot sun rays. Hare Krishna. So,
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Mataji,
Yes,
in this picture, the rays are coming from Krishna's hands or the sun, Mataji?
it's actually hot sun, Mataji.
Oh.
And it's just an image. Image is like that. But the weather was so hot and he's sitting there. First, they told him wild animals are there, it's not safe for you. He did not listen. He's already detached and renounced. So he doesn't worry about himself. When they said Radharani is coming, then he didn't want to take service from her. So, how does a person become this austere? How can he become so advanced? In Bhagavatam, we get so much information. Even Vidura and Bhishma, they also give lot of tips. Bhishma says, we can become free from anger if we learn how to forgive. If we learn forgiveness, then we can become free from anger. And then we can, like unlawful desire, it's something that is totally unnecessary, people still go on doing it. So if you don't make any plans, it means plans for sense gratification. Don't even make any plans for sense gratification. Then, you'll be completely free from unnecessary desires, he says. And then how to become spiritual, he says by conquering ignorance. Krishna says all this. And then if you don't want any disease, he says you have to, that there's a proverb also. If you don't want any disease, you have to watch your diet. Regulated diet can actually keep a person healthy. Like that, all these Goswamis, they were just so perfect. We cannot, of course, copy them, but we can see all this. Their nature was like this. And how to, when it comes to Lakshmi also, money, how can we save? By avoiding unnecessary undesirable association. Because, people start wasting money only in the wrong association, it says. So like that, by improving ourselves, we can, in our spiritual life, we can avoid being fearful. So like this, so many tips are given by Bhishma Dev. Vidura also says self-control really helps. Willpower, self-control. That's what helps. Even if a person has whatever, if he has complete control over his senses, he can handle anything. Like in Raghunath Das Goswami's case, we see that so much money, so much gold, but he's not at all spending it unnecessarily. So I think that's it. And their samadhi we can see if we go to Vrindavan and all, we can see. Almost all of their samadhis are there. Vrindavan Dham. So I think I'll just stop. Next one we'll do in the next